You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hey everybody, I'm David Boer, the writer of Kanto, Killer Queens, and All New Firefly, and you are watching The Experience.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, Alec?
Nothing. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing all right. John is back after missing Monday. And JD, I threw up that meme. There we go. So the reason John was out Monday was he heard the news and he was so upset.
I needed some time.
And I got to give Dave Cerrone all the credit. That was his meme. He actually emailed that to me.
He actually he sent that to me and I had to look it up. I was like, no way. And I clicked on it. I was like, wait, his picture isn't there. And I told him, I said, I actually thought that was real. Like, I was fully convinced. Like, they did an interview with John. They found him or something. And they were like, yeah, he goes to the movies like 30 plus times in a week.
Yeah, it was MSNBC. They wanted to hear what the catalyst was to the bankruptcy. So Jeff
we tracked it down, and it's one person.
One guy. His name's John Cole.
All jokes aside, though, there were a couple of business publications accounts that I saw on Facebook and Twitter that when Regal came out with this thing, they said for some investors that is sort of like a red flag. When, like, why would you start, or and they did it because they needed an influx of cash in a hurry.
Right. So we got Jeff Wedding, Preston, Ron, Stevie B. What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, I saw a ton of people are in here already.
I personally think that you definitely put a speed bump in their trajectory.
It's just like one spike. It's like, what is going on?
Hey, Marcus, what's going on? Yeah, right.
There's always RP free movie night. I know I'll have to go in there and tell people I'm old.
So everybody was concerned. I just said that you were, not feeling well that day. Obviously based on the news about Regal.
No.
What are you going to do now? So John's going to be there every day from 9 a.m. for the first showing all the way until the last showing of the day. Just to max out his Regal card.
Gonna have to use that side entrance to the theater.
Seriously.
He said, I will not leave this theater.
I do enjoy going to the movies, but I do think, while it's great for me, that's probably not a great sign. The only job I've ever had, real job, aside from food and cooking, was working at a movie theater during the summer. Living down the shore, there's you were a lifeguard, you worked at the movie theater, you know what I mean? You cleaned it. There wasn't a whole lot of things to do down there.
Excuse me.
I love being an usher. I love sitting in the back. I love back then you had to put the films together. They come in cans. It was great. But I learned at least knowing how the revenue has to be generated. And I'll tell you right now, giving people a pass is a bad, an unlimited pass. That's not a great idea business-wise. It's great for me.
Yeah, probably not. Let me say that the viewers were concerned about you because I was sort of vague. I didn't really feel like it was my place to talk about anything. So John should be able to take his seat home when the theater closes down.
I feel as though when they made the idea of like the unlimited movies, they really didn't have in mind that they had people like you who are just going to keep going and re-seeing the same movie. Like you are just an anomaly in their like statistics because the average person might go once a week, but I feel like they rationalize that all right, if I go see a movie, 2 movies in 1 month, that'll basically pay for it. Maybe if I go to 3, I'll get my money's worth. But no, not 3 in one day. 10 in one weekend.
And I'll tell you exactly who said this. I'll tell you, Alec is right on the money, and I'll tell you why. One of the people I know through a weird set of food circumstances is a guy named Ken, who's like a regional supervisor for Regal.
Different name drop, but it's happening.
And he said almost exactly the same thing to me, that they are not expecting someone to go to the movies every day. And if they really like it, just stay again. Literally, all I have to do is pick out my phone. You can set the app real quickly. It knows what seat I want now. It's like, do you want the next movie?
I mean, Marcus brings up a good point. Movie Pass is on its way back. I did read that as well.
What is that?
Movie Pass is the originator of all this, but they ended up caving and going out of business. Basically, the same concept of the Regal thing. And then, obviously people were, unfortunately for them, their business model, it was a bunch of John Coles that put them out of business. All of a sudden, they thought the same thing as the Regal. Now, from a Regal standpoint, I think it makes a little bit more sense in the fact that the hard investment's already there. I know that the real profit margin for these theaters is, of course, concession. Right? Now, I don't know how many people do it, but I'm pretty sure that there isn't enough people like John, someone who goes to see movies all the time, but every day. But beyond that, who have come up with the idea is I'll call Grubhub and have them deliver the food, and I'm going to bypass your stuff. Now, they could take care of that easily by just saying no outside food.
Well, I think they do say no outside food, but
John just ignores it.
They're paying these kids next to nothing.
Right.
And when you order tacos and order some for the kids, they don't care.
Ooh, that's tricky.
That's the other thing. Are you really going to pay someone like $13 an hour to enforce these rules? Like they do not care.
Yeah. Well, I think
they're there with little scanners and they're scanning my app on my phone and they're like, okay, you're in, theater 10, CG1, but that.
Well, I think that came out as a result of the pandemic. Is that you had all of these retail workers getting assaulted because of the mask thing, and
they just
now you got kids going, I'm making close to minimum wage, right? I'm going to confront this guy, get into an argument, and he may kill me. No,
it's just not worth the time.
Yeah, it's not worth the effort.
No, woman came in with a diaper bag and kids, but the kids were out of diapers. True story. She opens this up, and it's Chinese food takeout containers, and she's got 4 or 5 kids with her, and she's not even waiting till the lights go down. He's just handing the stuff out, and I see the usher. She just kind of shakes her head, sweeps the floor, and moves along. I mean, it was like a full dinner.
Yeah,
and I'm not condemning her because I do the same thing, but
I think the problem. I mean, certainly the pandemic put them in a bad position to start, and then obviously the studios didn't help because they were like, all right, well, what are we going to do? Let's go direct to streaming then, because we've invested all this money, and I got to tell you, I mean. They made a kind of a quick sort of bounce back, but ultimately you could smell it in the wind. We've talked about this before. There is a percentage of people that never wanted to really go to the movie theaters anyway.
Yeah, the movies.
I'm one of them. I never really wanted to go to the movie theaters anyway. And if I really wanted to watch something, I would be forced to go. But then eventually that threshold was, it'll be out soon. I don't need to go, and then I forget about it. It's not like, and then all of a sudden, I haven't seen that. That's right. It was in a movie theater like 6 months ago. Now I can watch it. Great. Awesome.
Talking to someone at Regal, I found out specifically what the problem is for Regal. The people who are doing what I do are invariably Marvel, Star Wars type fans.
Which is where they're getting.
That's where all their money comes from now. Nobody is going to see some boring romance where they get divorced and the poor child has to decide who they have to live with.
Right.
Nobody's going to see that more than once. What happens is they release a Star Wars movie. Like Rogue 2 comes out. And the next thing you know, me and hundreds of other socially misaligned people, we're just going to sit in the movies all day. and they're not really set up for that. They've got way too many leases now that they can deal with. Remember when we started this show, we said since the 21st century began, half of the comic book stores in this country closed between 2001 and 2020. I read that at the Philadelphia Business Journal. I really didn't read anything that disputed that.
Right.
Half of them were gone. A friend of mine who is a contributor for the Philadelphia Business Journal and Slate said they have numbers that are saying between 2020, when the pandemic really kicked in, and 2030, a third of the movie theaters in this country will be closed.
I believe.
Third.
I believe.
I believe
based on, just the last time I saw a truly full movie theater, like packed to the gills, was at December when I was in Disney. Everybody goes to the movies at Disney when it starts to rain.
Right.
Right. So I'd already had my tickets, but everybody goes bum rushing in. They've got all this great food. That was the last time I saw a theater, 400 seats, 400 people in there. I went to see Beast today. There were 7 of us in the theater. Now, granted, I'm in the theater at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, I'm sorry. But there's only 7 people, and there's like 140 seats in there.
Right. But I mean, this is, weekdays in the summer. I mean, this has been an ongoing thing for theaters. I mean, since I was a child. But all right. So this is a loaded topic. So definitely we should, we're going to
come back to this real quick. Thank you, everybody who asked. I had a couple people on social media too hit me. I'm okay. It's just one of those things where I'm old and fat. So sometimes I don't eat right. I don't exercise. Don't listen to my doctor.
You're drinking a Coke,
No, this is actually Coke Zero. And since you asked,
that makes a difference.
We've had these conversations since we started doing the show. I don't know where it came from, but the different flavors of Coke. We had the marshmallow thing, which didn't taste like marshmallow.
There's marshmallow flavor?
We had the Starlight thing, which they had a marshmallow thing because the character is from the NFT world or something, but it didn't taste like anything, much like NFTs. Then they had the Starlight soda, which kind of tasted, it's supposed to taste like stars. It tastes like cotton candy or something. This one is like a mango soda. It's called Dream World, and it's supposed to taste like your wildest dreams. It tastes like a mango daiquiri.
There it is, wildest dreams.
But where these sodas are coming from, these are sodas that come from the Asian market, where they have much cooler soda than we do. Yeah,
they do actually. I'm cutting back on sodas. I got to cut back on something.
Yeah, but anybody who's been to Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, they have cucumber Sprite and just the coolest flavors. There's a honeydew.
I will tell you something interesting.
Thank you, Nick.
There you go. So. Yep, Nick just wanted to jump in and say thanks to everyone for joining, and thank you, everyone. And if you remember, if you get a chance, please hit that thumbs up. In Taiwan, all Pepsi products or Pepsi itself is banned. There's a higher carcinogen level in Taiwan.
Oh, should have moved there. That's great.
Because Pepsi actually has a higher carcinogen level. So if you want something Coke-ish or Pepsi-like, you got to get Coke. You cannot find Pepsi anywhere.
See, we used to be a proper country once too, but now people are drinking Pepsi everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Jeff, I agree with you 100%. This is Dream World Zero Sugar. I don't know if it's any better, if it's full sugar or cane sugar. It's vaguely mango, sort of. It's okay, I guess. You know what this is like? People go to those Coke freestyle machines, right? And adults get Diet Coke or whatever. Right. And the kids wind up getting grape, lemon, Coke, and the parents are like, what did you get here? It's like the kids took over the making of this soda.
I do that.
Kind of like that at Epcot when they used to have that. Mm-hmm. So, all right, let me get to the best offer books to start the show. All right, so.
That being said, grape Sprite is delicious.
You heard it here first.
Grape Sprite is delicious.
That sounds awesome.
First best offer book of the night is Incredible Hulks, number 611, signed in silver by Greg Pak.
Oh, man.
Is
that a wraparound cover?
I don't. Yeah, it has got to be.
That's got to be a wraparound cover.
We'll pull that out in a minute. All right. So suggested retail is $69.99. It is our first best offer book, and we're going to start at 5. Signed in silver, and it's number 19 of 50. All right, so this is the best offer starting at $5.
Jeff, Nick wouldn't admit this. The reason Nick didn't go to Comic-Con is because I would have nagged to go along, and he had no interest in spending money on first-class tickets, dinner every night at Lou and Mickey's, and the oceanfront room I require at the Hilton Bayfront. That's why Nick didn't go this year.
Oh my God,
it's my fault. I'm sorry.
I feel poor just listening to this. All right, so next up, next best offer book, Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1. CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8.
Oh my God, do I love that
cover. All right, Ed Weird. You got it, buddy.
Ed
Weird, hold on.
And Lars, man, you're right. One of the first things they do when they start trying to cut money is they cut the syrup ratio. That's why and it's true, there's a company called like Sipper or something like that, and they do all these. That was soda tasted better 5 years ago. Once the pandemic came and nobody's making any money, they ratcheted down the syrup percentage. So people were like, this doesn't taste like anything. Exactly. That's exactly right.
All right. So Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book starting at $20.
And Alec has talked about this before. I think we talked about this a little bit with Robbie too.
Ed Weird's in on it. All right. I got you, Ed Weird.
My problem is this. After the first story, Stray Dogs sort of, Alec will jump in here. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But the problem is they're so cute and I love dogs. I just keep buying it. And I know that's wrong because I'm rewarding bad behavior because the stories are not as good. But I see the dogs looking at me and I'm like, all right, put it in the box. It's really funny.
Now, as big as a Evil Dead fan that I am, I really wish they wouldn't have done Stray Dogs, Dog Days. I loved Stray Dogs. I thought it was a great series, but this felt like a slap in the face, like a complete cash grab, waste of money. I mean,
it worked for me. I haven't even read it yet, but I bought it. It's sitting in that whole box. I'm like, okay.
There's no reason to read it. There was nothing to it. It was like they got all the different dogs, and I think every dog had like a quick little 2-page.
All right,
something.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I guess Lars Man was first at 25, so I apologize.
Marcus.
No, that's what I said. I said as much as I love Evil Dead, Stray Dogs, Dog Days shouldn't exist. Stray Dogs. Oh, time out. We're done.
Ed got in. Oh, I'm sorry. Ed Weird got in first. That's right. So Lars Man. All right. So that was Ed Weird. Sorry.
Here's the problem. In this show, I'm the looks and you're the brains. If you can't do the thinking part, we got to get Amy in here.
No, you know what it is? It's no. The problem is Ed Weird doesn't like watching this on YouTube. He likes watching it on Facebook. The problem is with Facebook, he doesn't see the comments on YouTube. So they're both kind of bidding on it. So Lars Man. JD's the brains anyway.
No, that's totally the truth, man.
All right, Lars Man's at 30. Okay, got it. All right, now we got it all figured out. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
But yeah, that's a little bit because we talk about this all the time on the show. Alec and I, we all talked about this. If you don't like a book, don't buy it. That sends the signal to the publisher, right? Don't do this. I like the dogs, so it's in my.
So you like the book?
I haven't even read it yet. I just buy it because I like the dogs.
It doesn't matter why you like something. If you like it, then that means that something appeals to you.
No, I just wanted to be honest, though, because I tell people, stop buying that. Stop buying that. Yeah, I've got Stray Dogs sitting in my pole bin over at Ontario History Comics.
All right. So next up, we got Samurai Sonia #3, Ultraviolet Lyrics Lee cover. It's just a retail of $50, and it's going to be our best offer book starting at $1. All right. So Ed Weird. All right, Ed Weird. You are in at 35. I got you, buddy.
Now, not to continue on that last conversation, but I do have to say though that Evil Dead cover is probably my favorite one. It is. I'm an absolute sucker, and when I saw it, I was like, man, that's got to go in my collection too.
All right, so hold on, let me catch up here. So Marcus,
so don't do as we do as we say.
All right, so Marcus, you are in at 5 on the Samurai Sonia. Gotcha, buddy. All right. All right. So Ed Weird, Marcus beat you to it. So you're gonna have to come up higher than 5, buddy. All right. So we're at $5 now. We're way past that. 5 times past that, bro. All right. So last best offer book of the night, WWE #1, blank variant signed with Hulk cover sketch by Ken Hazer. All right, and that's best offer starting at $1. All right, so Ed Weird's going to go up to 8. Gotcha, Ed Weird. on the.
I believe Triple B has 10 on Sonya right now, so that's the high bid.
Wait, I'm sorry, Triple B. Yep, you are right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it gets a little confusing because you got Ed Weird up on the. All right, so Preston, we are up to 10. Triple B is at 10. Hey, Mark, how are you, buddy? Gyros with fries. I love gyro, actually.
I just
All right. So Marcus is offering 5 on the Hulkster. Marcus, Ed Weird is already at 5. All right, Triple B
Is it 10?
Triple B is at 10.
Are you going to keep interrupting our storytelling with selling comics? Because I don't think you get what the
Okay,
show's
yeah,
all
I got
about.
you there. So Marcus, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done the Incredible Hulks and then the Hulk cover sketch as both his best offers. So yeah, Triple B, you are in the lead at 10, and everybody, yeah, make the differentiation because we have 2 Hulk books that are best offers. So just if it's the WWE one, that's great. If it's the Incredible Hulks number 611, all right, who Ed Weird is currently in the lead at 5. Okay. Let's see. Number 21 Pythons. All right. So sorry, guys. All right. I think we might have that straightened out, sort of, kind of. But JD, yeah, you're going to double check me, buddy. All right. So, all right, please continue, gentlemen. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I like the one comment from earlier. Emmy that got thrown up there. Any hot preview magazines for sale? If you don't know, Key Collector put on the Key of the Week was the Previews magazine issue 408 that got released, and I don't know. I thought that was like the biggest joke ever that they put that as a Key of the Week. It's literally a previews book where you order books from.
Yeah, that's.
And people are buying it. I saw a few sales on eBay today for like $25.
Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, I waste my money too, so I'm in no position to say anything to anybody.
But it's a previews magazine. It's a previews that you literally order books from this. How are you going to say this is the key comic book of the week? Because there's a small preview. I think it said there was an 8-page preview from a new Bad Idea Comics title. And I was like, Triple B, I got it too. I didn't spend $25 on it though.
All right. So, all right. I'm just going to review, make sure I've got everybody's bids
I'm
right.
almost wondering what's up next, like vintage copies of comic shop dudes from the 90s.
Well, they were
collectible. People used to collect matchbooks, bottle caps. Anything is collectible if somebody wants it. You know, that's the. You know, I want to bring up a point though. Give me 1 second though. I want to cover this because we had a lot of action going on, and I want to make sure I got everybody's bids straight. So, Incredible Hulk's number 611, and Weird is in the lead at $5. Stray Dogs, CGC graded 9.8. Ed Weird is in the lead at $35. And then Samurai Sonya Triple B is in the lead at 10. And then the WWE number 1 is the only thing. I believe that Triple B is in the lead at 10. So, JD, if you would check my work to make sure I'm correct.
Ed Weird bumped up the Samurai Sonya to 12.
To 12. I'm sorry. You're right. I got that.
Marcus is right. Hogs are coming back.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. WWE number 1, JD, Triple B in the lead at 10.
Correct.
Okay, great. All right. We're all straight. So let's keep in mind something, though. So I had an instance early on in my career, right? And we were selling trading cards on TV. And I had a conversation with a dealer who was upset at something that we were selling.
Is this going to be name drop?
No, I'm not going to drop anybody's names, not company names or anything.
That's your job.
Is Tiger Woods, and I did not meet him. It was a Tiger Woods Masters card.
That's a name drop.
So there were no Tiger Woods. There were no really golf trading cards like baseball or football, whatever, right? So what ended up happening was this company, and they were all Masters champions, right? And it was Tiger Woods' first Masters, right? Now, originally they all came out in sheets, and the company that was producing them started to run into problems, so they cut them down and sold them as sets, right? And then it turned out to be a whole bunch of sheets, and the company doing it, they went back to a second and third printing and didn't tell anybody, right? Oops. So these cards started coming out, but what I found ironic is one of the dealers' complaints were that we were selling, I don't remember what the prices were, but let's just say we were selling it on TV for $200. And the dealer says, he called up. I remember getting in conversation. He called up our offices, and you guys, just berating us, and you guys are dishonest, and blah 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 blah. And what he said was that everybody knows this is a $50 card. It's in the price guide. Now you have to understand the way the price guides for trading cards way back in the day, when we all had dial-up internet, the way it was done was these price guides would take a random sampling across the country on prices of what something was selling. All right, so it'd be a handful, probably not more than several hundred dealers across the country, all right, that they knew. Literally, we had sold probably 1,000 of these cards. So the argument the guy had was, this is $50, you're ripping people off. I said, who says it's $50? He goes, the price guy. I said, you mean the hundreds of dealers they talk about? I said, let me tell you something, Pally. We've sold 1,000 of these cards on TV. So the price is what we sell it for, not what you think it sells for, because we've sold way more. So we're making the market. But then I pointed something out to him. Okay. I pointed out, dude, it's used cardboard. You're arguing with me that I'm overpricing used cardboard? Really? Okay. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't go to the supermarket and go, hey, I will trade you $400 worth of groceries for this trading card of Tiger Woods. It's a rookie. Okay. So really, when you get down to it, what's the value of any of this stuff? Right. So I'm not disagreeing.
Before Nick's original art show, this whole conversation will be edited out.
We'll see. So I guess my point is this: is there really a difference? If somebody says there's a market for previews, okay, I get it. I mean, I'm thinking, scratching my head, going, "Where's the value in it?" But someone like this discussion I had way back then, you could eat it, where Rubenstein says. What's the difference? It's paper. It's a magazine. So how is it different? If people want to buy it, who's to say that they're wrong? I guess. You see the point where I'm going with that. So, but wait, hold that thought, because I know I can see the smoke coming up from the top of your head, Alex. You're getting ready to respond. We're going to take our first break.
Oh yeah, let's say all this stuff and then go to break.
Yes. We're going to take our first break, and we will be back in a couple minutes. And
Alex just texted me the middle finger emoji, so I'm guessing this response is
not texting it to me.
We'll be back, everybody.
We'll be back in a couple minutes.
See you then.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube, and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
All right, and we're back.
What's up, everybody?
All right, so real quick, I'm going to throw another book out there.
Alec has a word for you.
I'm sure he does. And we'll give him a chance to express that word. All right, so next up, we got Vampirella Year 1, Number 1, Atlas Comics Signature Edition, signed by Christopher Priest. Suggested retail of $49.99, and we have one available tonight for $20.
I love Atlas Comics. I was super glad.
I know you do. Actually,
love it.
I've got a whole bunch of Atlas. If you peruse the,
Oh,
you missed
really?
you missed the Green Hornet. Had that up for you on Monday. Yep.
Thank you.
That's why you had to put it up. He was going to take it if he was there.
Yeah, right. That's what everybody was saying. It's we can finally look at some Green Hornet comics that John won't take. So, all right. So, Alec, I cut you off. So, go ahead.
Larsman with the claim real quick, though.
You got it, Larsman.
I so desperately want Alec to start this with you, mother bee.
No, it's actually nothing like that. Like I actually totally understand where Rex is coming from with that. It's all about, and even what Triple B said, it's worth exactly what someone is willing to pay for, and I get that.
Yep.
But to me, I don't understand why Key Collector would push a previews book. That doesn't seem like something they were doing it a little while ago. I think it was about a year and a half ago. They were even saying that the real first appearance of Miles Morales was in a previews. It's a previews. It's not a comic book. You can't sit down and read the entire issue. It's nothing. It's a previews book. You order books from it. And I mean, that's exactly what this is. It's an 8-page little snippet of the story written by Mark Waid for the new Bad Idea Comics title. And that's exactly what it is. It's a preview of it. But I don't understand why they would say that, literally that. Like, why should that make the number, like the key of the week for them? Saying like, oh yeah, Mark Waid has an 8-page preview of his new title coming out for Bad Idea Comics. It's Key Collector's Key of the Week. But why? That doesn't actually make any sense to me.
I would agree. I get what you're saying. I mean, I do. And I would say to push a collectible, okay? And to give you an example, I think what I thought was one of the most ridiculous things, although now they're caught in controversy as well, was slabbing old video games.
Oh, Wada got in a lot of trouble or something, didn't they?
Got into a lot. Yeah, they got into a lot of trouble. But you see that there are times that you can sort of push something to be collectible, and we can really, what we can talk about is the whole C2E2 controversy with the acetate covers. Okay, and they didn't handle it right, and they hit the radar not because they were trying to push a collectible, but the way that they handled it in terms of people buying it. So if they did that properly and didn't make anybody angry, you've got to ask yourself, would anybody have really complained? But all those people that are angry and then now saying, well, what about the extra staples? And they did this, and they just pretty much put a piece of acetate on it. Why were they angry? Because all of the people first complaining was because they didn't get theirs. They were locked out. The influencers came and bought theirs, and then, what was it, Black Flag, I guess, tried to backpedal and say, no, they pre-ordered, but nobody can find any evidence of the actual pre-order, right?
And I think that's funny because even if it was a pre-order, how can you pre-order a con exclusive? I mean, maybe they had a side deal or something, but why would you admit that? That makes you sound worse.
I think that the problem was they didn't think it through. And what I mean by that is, so they had 750 copies, I think, something like that, of comics from over a year ago that were dead. It's dead inventory to them. So they came up with a good idea of, let's throw an acetate over it. Well, not such a good idea because you didn't clear it with Marvel, but whatever. Okay,
you don't mess with the mouse. You don't do that.
That's for an army of lawyers to determine who did what. But ultimately, they did that, and it was obviously well received. And it worked.
Not by Disney.
No, not by Disney, of course. But the question becomes, would it have been this public? I'm sure Disney's attorneys would have sent a very strongly worded cease and desist. Obviously,
dead fish.
Right? They didn't pull them. They didn't do anything about it, even though it's become news. They got slapped in the hand, and that was the end of it. But the point is, if they had handled the distribution of it better, maybe this never would have been a blip. nobody would have complained. You say, and that's the thing that you have to keep in mind is large man. I might be a hoarder, but I have boxes of previews I had wanted to turn into fire logs until this development.
I have a buddy. It's funny that this came up. I have a buddy that has all these previews just every week. Whatever they just get thrown in the corner.
All right.
Well, his daughter comes to visit him. Him and my friend and his wife are divorced, and his daughter got into decoupage. Like 9 pieces of furniture in his house that he bought from whatever has decoupaged with previews. And I thought that was probably the most innovative use of old previews. Because what good is old previews, right? Apparently, he is way behind the curve.
Oh, Marcus, we should sell previews on this show. You know what? Good idea. Is that a request? All right. So real quick, this one is for Ron. If you're out there, our biggest. Yeah, I saw him in the beginning too. All right. So this is got to be. We are pushing Hazer. We're actually trying to look for other artists that can do cover sketches for us so that we can replenish our supply. But this one I snuck out, just happened to be there sitting there. It is something new, and I snagged a copy just for our viewers. It is the Mighty Thor #1 signed and cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. All right. And this is brand new. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $70.
I'll tell you what, if I went to a con and I paid $70 for that cover to be done, I would be so happy about it.
Oh yeah,
I would just be ecstatic.
All right, there we go, Ron.
Yeah, you would tell everybody when you got home. You'd be like, you know what the best thing is I got at the con? This for $70.
Yeah, like look what I just got. I got this for $70. That's it, $70. I would be so happy about that one.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've wasted so much money at cons over the years on stupid things. You know what I mean? I just people come back and they're like, "What did you spend your money on?"
Yep, you got it, Ron. It is $70, flat price and not best offer. So it's yours, buddy. All right, coming your way, my friend. So yeah, we're doing our best, hoping to get more cover sketches in, and maybe. If you can talk Mariano into it, maybe we can have him color one of his.
Yes, he's got to be back on and do that again. That was so cool.
He might be. It's 6:39, man.
Now what I will say.
So, but I will try to convince him. Yeah. So JD, yeah,
JD's right.
Well, Ron already bought it, so whether I'm sure or not, it's too late.
That's what I think. That could easily be sold for well over. If I was the artist, I would sell that for way over that.
Yeah. No, listen. I mean, obviously our 10 packs and things like that, are well below market value. The idea was, I know we've got cover sketch collectors here, so wanted to make sure that we did it for less than retail. I think I got this, if I remember correctly. I think one of the guys who deals with our website just said a credit card didn't go through, so there wasn't another order for it because obviously we have to fill orders in advance. We do a lot of pre-order stuff on the Dynamite site.
Don't bounce Ken's checks. Will be
right. So as soon as I heard that, I grabbed it for our show. So congratulations, Ron. It's a nice piece, man. We'll get that right out to you. All right, so
I told Ken on Facebook I wanted him to do something for Evil Ernie, and he said
that would be cool too.
Have Nick call me, and I'm like, that's how easy it is. Everybody, just go to Facebook.
JD, I was kidding too, buddy. Yeah, I do too. Creative Keep missed it, but as I said, we hope to have new stuff. Yeah, Joel, I've been hearing. Actually, I was talking to Mariano. He says. You get to some of these cons and they're upwards of 100, 200, 300, depending on the artist and the character and the detail. Certainly full color always goes for more.
Yeah. The last con that I went to, I paid $100 for, well, actually it was I bought a lot of them from him and the deal was they all came out to $100 each, but I think I got 2 or 3 covers done. And then I did another one where he gave me a deal because I was getting 2 covers done. They came out to $50 a piece, and I was really ecstatic about that. But I also talked to someone else that I felt that I was a little close with. He was going to charge me $250 for a full sketch, and I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of money." But you're very good at art, so that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that's the prices of this stuff really do range a lot.
And the odds of and the expense, of course, of attending the con. All right, which John is very familiar with. He'll put up a spreadsheet later in the show to show you the exact costs. Okay,
it's not cheap, and we talked about that when there were no cons.
Well, especially going with you. You have very expensive.
When there were no cons, I was telling people use this time to save for cons when they come back.
He's an expensive date, this guy.
I'm looking forward to going to MegaCon in Orlando.
Your palate is just way too expensive, buddy.
You know what? It's almost like I think I said this before. It's almost like a get back thing because when I first started going to cons, I literally slept in my old Blazer. I had an old 1976 K5 Blazer that the doors didn't always work, and I would sleep in those. Oh yeah, it was on the floor.
I figured.
And I would, I would have to sleep at cons and shower at the gym or whatever. But I wanted to go, and then the first time I went to San Diego. I was, I was in the rear with the gear. I had a terrible seat. I stayed far away. And in my mind, I said, I am never coming back to San Diego like this. Went to a bunch of other cons, finally started to make some money. The next time I went to San Diego, I was like, there is no way sleeping in a car. I want to be able to walk I don't even want to cross the street to go to the con. And that's how I started staying at the Hilton Bayfront.
See how quickly you forget where you come from? Ron, no problem, buddy.
He said, I don't even want to walk across the street.
Sleep into a van?
1 year.
I won't even walk across the street, man.
I stayed at the Hilton, and I like
somebody call a pedicab to run me through the convention floor.
They actually have bike pads that are pretty cool. There's one that goes right past Ralph's. So you jump in. There's a movie theater like a block. You got to kind of know the area. But I stayed at a Hyatt 1 year. And it was like a significant walk. And it's not, it's pretty warm.
This is the world's smallest violin playing for John right now.
And I
had to walk.
The hotel was very nice.
Tragedy of it, Alec.
There'll be name dropping here. The hotel was very nice, but we got to meet Brent Spiner.
That is cool.
Brent Spiner, he was just in the lobby at the hotel. And he was joking around saying, yeah, the original cast are staying at the nicer hotels. They put the next 10 people down here. Super nice guy. Talked to everybody, signed everything.
That is cool.
The best part of it was the bartender had no idea who he was. He's surrounded by me and like 20 other geeks. And the bartender's like,
who's that?
Basically, yeah.
Not a Star Trek fan.
No, she was not.
Yeah, she would have gotten a very small tip from me. Not a Star Trek. Emmy Comics, what's up, bud? All right, so next up we've got Vampirella Strikes, #1, Atlas Signature Edition, signed by Tom Snagowski. Suggested retail of $49.99, and we have one available for $20.
Hey, you know what I think we should put up for sale tonight?
Previews?
Comic Shop News.
Yes, I said it.
I thought you were going to bring a preview in.
First appearance of Darkwing Duck from Dynamite.
Wait, that is really cool, though.
Bring a preview in.
How much do you think we could get for this? Plus, wait, there's more. First appearance of Gargoyles from Dynamite.
$1 million.
No, I think it should be fair. $750.
No one can hear me.
Wait, I hear you.
Oh, okay. So what do you guys think we should charge for this?
$750.
I'm not gonna lie. My shop still hands those out, and I collect some of the ones that I really like the characters.
Oh no!
Well, he collects them when he gets them
Mic drop.
Yeah, I collect them when I get them.
So I think what I want to charge for these is one free with every order.
Wow, that makes shipping tougher.
Those are really cool, though. I
$500 due to the creed.
You should probably be signing those.
BBB says 70 cents. Let's see.
Did you want to talk about Red Sonja?
$1 tree fitty.
I'd say about tree fitty.
Oh my god, we'll do free. I got extra ones, so we'll do free.
All right. Hopefully
you
have enough.
About Red Sonja?
But it's $40 shipping.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Got him.
Ron wants to know, did Hazer do the art?
Did Hazer do the art?
No, but you never know.
If we say yes, Ron might buy it.
I was gonna say that just opened the door.
The reason I was saying that when Nick wanted to talk about Red Sonja is they had a real nice piece.
Oh, that's right.
All of our previews got lost. Oh. Imagine that.
Man, Amy was
you don't have any
fast.
Amy HappyGotYourBack.com. You just click it.
Marcus said he only wants it if it's a metal cover. And Ronald's passing.
$500 due to the crease. That's
Hey, look at that. Weird. You got to put that up, JD. Wow, you turned into eBay free with $40 shipping and handling.
That's an old trick. All right, so what's up now is Nick, did you want to talk about Red Sonja?
So one per person if you order something. Is a Disney version of Batman and Zorro, bright colors. If you staple, no acetate. Oh, nice BBB. Thank you.
You want to talk about this character?
Yeah, sure.
With the news.
About the movie.
Yeah, there's a movie coming out.
There are a lot of people who commented on social media thanking you for keeping the character alive.
I don't know. I think Nick might have been fasting today or something, man.
We're talking about that there wouldn't be a Red Sonja movie if it wasn't.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for weeks now. So that's really cool.
Lars, man, what are you claiming, buddy?
I think he's claiming the comic shop news.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's a big Dynamite fan, so he might have been.
Oh, it might be the Red Sonja that John had in his hand.
Oh, I don't think that's for sale. I was just
Oh, wait. Can I see that Ultimate Fallout?
Sure.
So this is CGC graded. So how much extra do we get to? No, I'm kidding. It's got an extra acetate something on it.
We were just talking about that.
That looked like a first print.
Oh my God.
So Lars, man, let us know if you were kidding or if there was something you actually wanted to claim.
So,
but seriously, you're a pretty humble guy generally. You stay behind the scenes. You should be taking a bow here. I'll comment on the show right now. If it wasn't for you, there'd be no Red Sonja movie. For a guy like me that's been reading the book for so long, seriously, very much appreciate it.
Well, I will say one thing about that. The movie did help come together many years ago because when we launched, we were outselling Conan. So that's what started the movie going. It's just been a 16-year journey ever since. So it's rewarding. I will say this. It's very rewarding. And, I will say it's also thanks to the fans who support the book and talk well about the book.
I don't know how it's going to top the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, man. That set a pretty high bar, folks. I mean, really high, like steps to high.
I think that's more called the Brigitte Nielsen one.
Brigitte Nielsen one.
Well, did anybody see that Sly's getting divorced?
Oh, yeah, after 25 years, his wife sent him out. Well, she's surprised signed a 25-year contract.
She's probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if that's the case, but they're definitely getting divorced. The wife
she's
out of here.
She's bouncing. About she hasn't been living in a house for I don't know how long.
Wow.
A guy like him has multiple houses.
Contract's up.
Contract's
That's what
up.
I said.
She's out, man.
25-year contract. No.
Free agent.
Wow. The experience is killing it today.
All right, so let's do.
I'll let you guys talk and do stuff.
You guys can go peek around a little bit. The article is there about the Red Sonja movie, and I think that this has the potential. Now that there's like a whole genre that these movies have kind of taken over Hollywood. No one cares about that. Two people sitting talking in a room anymore. No.
Well, unless it's a WB Discovery project, then they'll produce it and then they'll shelve it.
I think that this is going to be this will sort of be for Sword and Sorcery what the Marvel movies are for superheroes. I think we've kind of set the bar with Game of Thrones,
right? And
I think now you're going to see some of these. I also saw. Somebody tagged in the article in the comments about Red Sonja, somebody tagged that Amazon is looking at Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern.
All right, so Ed Weird, any chance you guys would sign the free newspaper preview thingy? Ed Weird, I'd be happy to sign it. I'm sure John would as well.
I don't want to ruin it.
Do you really want us to? I mean, I don't know about Alex because Alex is pretty far away, so we'd have to ship it to him. He'd have to sign, ship it back. So that might be a little bit, but yeah, if you want, just make sure.
You know how these Sword and Sorcery movies always have like a fat guy and a small guy sitting in a bar somewhere drinking? We could be that fat guy and small guy.
Where's the damn beer? I need some beer. All right, let's get another book up real quick.
Rex, I just want to mention, I think Lars Mann was claiming that Vampy book with the Tom Signature.
Sure. Yeah, that's why I was asking. because we were in the middle of banter. All right, thank you. I got him down.
So I asked Amy, I said, did you see the new previews magazine? And she went,
Oh my god.
Well, that's good. Well, somebody asked about a giveaway, and we didn't actually plan one, so I was just going to grab something during the break. Maybe we should grab a preview.
no, we really don't have them.
What are you talking about? They're right there.
No, the new one. The one that's on sale on eBay for $149.
We've got it. It's got to be there somewhere.
No, it hasn't come in. I'm not kidding about that.
All right.
No, because the person that was supposed to mail it went $149.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Guys,
What we'll do is we'll grab a
You know what? Actually, now that you say that, the tracking number's not working.
All right. So, and
Oh,
we're
boy.
sure, buddy.
It's a true Hollywood story of comics.
We'll sign one of the comic shop muses for you. And
Nothing
we'll
wants to
devalue
resell
it if you'd like.
Nothing wants to resell it.
So,
Are you sure you want me to damage it?
hey, we're all going to damage it. He wants all our signatures.
Yikes.
That's cool though.
But
I would
did
I would want you to sign it.
after every show, Stevie B, after every show, we even have a metal detector just to make sure that he did not walking off of metal
I
covers.
was told I had to drive a Vespa over from now on.
Vespa.
Everybody looks back on a scooter.
There's an image.
Right.
John on a Vespa. Now I know what it is I want to see next.
And I had to be 2 Vespas last
I'm
weekend.
literally picturing like a Dumb and Dumber scene. John just shows up. He's like, "Hey,
Can,
on this
CGC,
little
can you get
scooter."
it CGC? So Triple B says, can you get it CGC? Well, they CGC that acetate cover, so I don't see why
I was
not.
going to say, if they're going to CGC that, they beg you. Everybody
CGC
needs
did
money.
CGC did the Invisible Book from Bad Idea.
Oh, that's right.
Comics.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So you would have to be responsible yourself and weird or Triple B for getting it CGC. But I would make that argument. They did an Invisible comic, so this is at least something tangible. Tom's Comic Books, man. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us.
On a real note, though, speaking of CGC and Miles Morales and acetates, are we not even going to show or admire that 9.8 that you held up just before for a split second?
Ultimate Fallout?
Yeah, I'm a huge Miles Morales fan.
You are. That is true.
And to see like a 9.8, and I'm guessing that's a first print. Because
This one's mine, but some of you guys might be.
It's mine. There it is. First print. Is it? Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to get. There we go. I think that's why I was just trying to get rid of the.
Man.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So what's the claim on that bad boy?
Nick just picked it up. We didn't even have it scripted on the show.
It was on the show before, right?
Was it? Yeah, it might have been. So obviously it was on a Monday show if Alec hasn't seen it. We'll bring it back next Wednesday.
$1,400 or best.
I'll tell you what, Alec. Joel, I don't even. All right, well, all right, let's do it.
I don't know.
Joel, if you really want to claim it, I mean.
Yeah, I don't think there's any price yet.
I don't even think we have a price yet.
Wait, hold on. If it's, I don't know if I would do it for 14. That's a pretty good deal.
I know this show is sort of off the rails, but now we can't even see the rails. We don't even have prices.
We're just making stuff up.
Yeah, I'll give you.
No.
I'll say.
All right, that is not a first
We
print.
held
though,
this up, and it suddenly became, what's the price on it?
Yeah,
Is
but here's
that-
the thing.
Is that
I
not
don't think-
first print?
I don't think it's first print, is it?
No. It's the
Yeah.
It's the
facsimile.
facsimile edition.
Oh, it's the facsimile. All right, 1,400 is a great deal. Joel, you got it. Claim. He said it right there.
No price equals free. That's the story of my life.
You want to get Joel? I mean, if you
BBB
really
is saying how much for real.
Yeah.
Why don't we do it for $62.19?
$62.19.
It's
There
a
you go.
$90 book.
So if anybody wants to claim it, there you go.
I thought they were talking about the comic shop news. I was going to say, how much do we have to pay you?
Yeah, all right.
I'll hold this up again just in case anybody just trying to get the
Yeah, Joel. The book's actually free. It just costs $1,400 to ship.
Yeah, this is the facsimile.
John will bring it. Will deliver it personally on his Vespa.
Oh my god.
I hear they're really good on gas though.
What I really want is one of those Polaris things, but both my wife and my doctor are like, just stand in front of a train. It'd be easier to kill yourself.
Actually, no, you got to jump off the platform. It's
People
actually a
who-
lot of physical labor to get
People
in
who
front of that
see
train.
me on mopeds and cafe bikes
Dude,
in
I
Puerto
used to,
Rico.
I used to have to take that Northeast extension, and I hate to say it, and all joking aside, but the train from Hamilton to New York and back, I used to take that a lot for my business. I got to tell you, you could almost bet on it. 1 out of every 8 trips, man, there'd be a jumper. and the train would have to stop.
Oh.
I know, it's horrible. It's really horrible. All right, so next up, let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one. Let's do another Dynamite book. Nick's number 9, black and white, Alvaro Lopez cover. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40.
I'm just going to throw this out there because I saw it all day. I've seen the comments everywhere. Yes, Nick's, like a lot of the series, will come to an end. I feel like I say this a lot, but I keep seeing it. So, like, somehow it's not like seeking something into the groundwater. It's not like you'll never see Nick's again. I mean, I'm not saying that I have, insider information about when the next publishing thing is, but I've read Dynamite comics enough, and I know Nick well enough that nothing disappears forever. There's always going to be more Vampirella. There'll always be a new Red Sonja. It might be different, different story, but Nick's is a popular character. Right. So at some point you will see Nick's again.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Just like Dracula and these, they're kind
characters
of like,
ever really die.
Well, we talked about this before. We talked about this with Robbie, also with Alan. There has to be jumping on points for stuff.
Yes.
There's stuff when you look at a book and it's issue 350, you're like, really? One of the reasons that Dynamite does these things the way they do, and Nick has actually talked about this, is so that new readers have a chance to jump on. Yeah, sure. I know 70 years of Green Hornet history, right. But when a Green Hornet book comes out, it's almost always, the first page or two is kind of like letting the new reader know what's up. Somebody who's never seen Green Hornet before, right? So you kind of know. And that's the way all these things are. Yeah, sure. So maybe next year, whatever, there'll be another Nick's book. And yeah, sure. Probably the first page or the inside cover will let you know what's up with Nick's. And then that story, Elvira. I guarantee you they'll probably, I don't want to guarantee, but I'm pretty sure there'll be another Elvira story later this year, probably next year, because we're already into August, right? So yeah, don't enjoy them while they're out, but don't get too bummed out. Like, you sometimes in the big two, something gets canceled, you don't see it for 4, 5, 6 years.
Right. No. All right, so we got to take our second break. So we're going to take our second break, and we'll be back in a second.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Are you a comic creator? Are you a publisher? Do you make a comic book product? Do you own a retail store? Do you do something I haven't thought of? Who are you and what do you do? Let us know by advertising on The Experience and invite our viewers to patronize your product. Message the EXP on social media or email us _EXP@yahoo.com for more details.
right, and we're back. So next up, I have this previews up for sale. It will be signed by me, John, and Nick, thereby dropping the value by 25% at least. I had to grab one from the main office during the break. I had to. So, all right. Oh, the things people collect. But you know what? It's kept a roof over my daughter's head and sent her to college all at the same time. So
now what I do think is interesting though is a couple people did actually comment earlier about like technically previews because they were pushing I forget what the exact one was mentioned, but another one I could think of was that they were saying a small preview in the back of a comic book for Strange Academy. Is that technically the first appearance of Strange Academy because it did make an appearance in a different comic book? I like that conversation, but at the same time, that brings up the whole cameo first appearance as well. Then, if you deem a preview at the end of a comic book a first appearance, then, I mean, is a cameo not that then either? So that's an interesting one. A previews book, no, I will never buy into that hype train, but I at least like to have that conversation of the previews at the end of a legit comic book.
It weird says, so if it devalued by 25% and you were giving it to us for free, does that mean you'll pay us 25 cents to take
they
them
come
off?
with a quarter taped on.
Yes. However, as you said, shipping and handling will be $500. Okay. All right. So what you bring up is an interesting question. So the funny thing is this is how I view the collectibles industry. And this can be really anything. Okay. That you're talking about when you're talking about trading cards or comic books or whatever. What people do is, I think in this industry, is they come up with something, and Pogs is a perfect example of it. They come up with something and they throw it out there. And the collecting public, the collectors out there determine whether or not it's collectible. Okay. I think it's kind of it's like a mob mentality in a sense, it's you'll see a mob of people do something that as individuals they would never do. But somehow, I think it might have been Shakespeare that wrote this, that when you get a mob together, all of a sudden it's this group thing. And, there are things that you wouldn't do. And I think collecting is the same way. It's very hard to collude in that instance because you can't get enough people. So, I go back to the acetate example. So if they did it right and everybody who wanted a copy got what they got, it becomes a blip. Okay. It becomes a blip that you see, really,
Judy said, I believe that they refer to that mindless mob as the market.
You can say that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can refer to it as a market or whatever, but how does the market act? How does the market behave? And that actually is the point of economics as a whole. Economics says that the person who wrote the best science fiction novels, kind of attesting to that has to be Isaac Asimov, because the whole concept of foundation of psychohistory is that you can't determine what one individual will do, but over time you can predict what a group or a market will do. So you can watch market behavior. So I can't determine what you, Alec, would buy or not buy at your LCS. But if I took a group of people, thousands of them, as a sample, I can make some determinations of what direction it makes. But you can that's science fiction, that part, but you really can't, but you can read things off of that. So you go back to the acetate example. If they did it right, it would have just been a small blip. A couple of complainers, purists who say, well, they just threw acetate on that there and you added two staples, blah, blah, blah. But if people got it and people were then trying to spec it and then making more money out of it, would anybody have complained? Really? See, that becomes the key. So in a sense, the way that they handled it, and that's where you have to be delicate when you're dealing with stuff like this, is that the way they handled it made so many people angry that now they're complaining because they're just looking for something to bash because they did not get in on it. You see, that's the irony of, to me, the whole controversy itself. Purists may not agree, but to me, I always try to remember, I've been dealing in this industry for so long. I always try to remember what it is I'm dealing with. I'm not making some miracle cancer curing drug. I mean, do we make some people happy? Yeah, we sure do. You know, I hope that we make people happy. We have very loyal viewers. We have a good time with it. But, you know, we all got to kind of keep that in mind. So to me, whatever the public wants to collect, that's the determiner. Okay. That determines, you know, the market says we like this. We may scratch our heads and go, hey, why do you like this? That doesn't make any sense. But generally speaking, that kind of groupthink doesn't always make sense.
Next week we have
so
I'm going to remember this conversation.
No, I agree with that. I agree with all that. It really does come down to, you know, what do you as a collector want to collect? I mean, yeah, definitely there is like a mob mentality, like a group think for stuff like that. My only, I don't want to call it concern, but I guess an issue would be is that Key Collector, they do spec on books. They put out a lot of very valuable info, so it's no disrespect to them. This to me is something that they're pushing as the key of the week by Key Collector. Is it really, you know what I mean? Are you pushing the right thing? Like what is the logic behind pushing it? That's what I would like to see.
A box of these and figured it was the key of the week.
I would like to see a description to it saying we deemed this a key of the week for this reason. You could put in there that it has an 8-page preview written by Mark Waid for a new Bad Idea Comics title. But I would prefer to see something along the lines of we believe this is the key of the week for this reason. Yes, Mark Waid is writing it. Yes, it's a 8-page, but maybe if they threw something else in there as far as Bad Idea Comics is back. This is the first comic that is backed by Bad Idea Comics written by Mark Waid. And we believe for X reasons that this could be something. That's what I would like to see. I don't want to see previews 406 or 408, whatever it is, key of the week, Key Collector. Like that's my take on that.
Right. I would agree with that. I think it could have been done better from that perspective. So I do agree with you. But you also, you know what, mentioned Miles Morales earlier. So let's do that. All right. So we got What If, Miles Morales, #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available tonight for $50.
That was actually a pretty solid issue. I think that 4th issue got a lot of heat. It got a lot of backlash. I think it was the 4th issue.
Thor?
Yeah, that one got a lot of backlash. But this was actually a solid issue. I think the 2nd one was really good. 3rd one could have been better. 4th one.
So Lars Man is claiming it. You got it, Lars Man.
And plus, I'm a big fan of just What If. It's just such a unique type of story. It's different. I know there's a lot of people out there that do not like What If at all, but it's always cool to me.
No, I agree because it's that what if, you know.
It's in the name of What If.
Yeah. No, but what if things were different kind of concept?
The original What If gave birth to Marvel's multiverse.
Right.
I know DC had these Just Imagine stories, but they were very much like fairy tale stories. Like I've seen some of that Just Imagine stuff. What If came back and that triggered DC to do Elseworlds, and then that triggered Marvel to say, okay, you want to play? Now we'll do the multiverse, and there'll be 15 Spider-Man books every week from different universes. But you read that. I remember standing in front of a rack at a newsstand at 30th Street Station with my dad, looking up, and my dad is typical, pick out whatever, he's grabbing his cigars and newspaper, just grab whatever comic books you want. And I look and I see this one in front of me, and it's Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. And I just remember feeling like the whole world had changed. Like, what? And it was, and that kind of started this thing where, I think, and I'm not saying this because I've talked to him for a long time, seen him in a couple shows or whatever.
Here it comes.
But I think
say
Jeff
the name.
Parker,
there it is.
Parker
Boom.
Turning one issue of Volume 1 of What If into a really successful runs of Agents of Atlas sort of was a little bit like, hey, why don't we do everything? Why don't we do the Spider-Verse?
Right.
Why don't we do, And I think that, to a certain extent, Agent of Atlas has now almost been surpassed in that otherness vibe.
Right.
Because clearly there's, endless Captain America's this, that, or whatever. But I think that series, especially that first run he did, really sort of proved like I can grab something from a What If, number 7 or whatever it was way back when,
Right.
and he turned it into 30 or 40 issues of books that sold really well.
All right, so somebody mentioned earlier in the chat.
They are doing
it's
season 2 of What If.
I think it was Ed Weird, as a matter of fact, but I might be wrong. About a giveaway. Hadn't planned one, but we're going to go ahead and do one. So it's going to be the Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids Ash Can. All right, so we're going to give that away. I think we've been retailing it for like $20. And it's been moving a little bit. Nostalgia title. So that's
it really is.
And please, if you want to enter the giveaway, just go ahead and enter in the chats. Hashtag AR Comics EXP, all lowercase. Remember, got to be lowercase. Ken Hazer, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for joining us. Look at that.
He's gonna.
What's up, Ken?
17 people are like, hey, we'd like you to draw everything. Let's just assume it's everything.
So since we have Ken watching, let's see here. The mighty
sort of directly thank him
for
the
mighty Thor that you sent us. It lasted for about a minute and 30 seconds, and somebody snapped it up. So just saying,
a minute and 30 seconds is too much time. That's generous. Knock it off a whole minute. That was gone.
I posted a picture of something the other day on Facebook, and immediately I tagged in Nick with, Nick, can we have this? I didn't even know what it was.
I got to say, Ken, the 4 connecting covers, they didn't last, what? I mean, we had people trying to snag it before we got it on the show, but we wanted to show it off. So wanted to let you know that as well. Ed Weird, bow. Ed Weird, Ken's in the chat. Ken Hazer's in the chat. So if you switch over to YouTube, I know you don't like YouTube, you'll be able to see his comments back and forth. Just giving you a heads up. Minute 30.
Preston's right. It's a minute 30 with the buildup that we give it.
Yeah, that's true. It's awesome that Ken is in the
room. We don't have to do a build-up. I almost feel like I could literally hold up a book and say,
the new stuff, it just goes.
And,
I mean, you know that. The new stuff that Ken does just it snaps off. Boom. I mean, it's almost like flames behind it. All right, so ME Comics will be the first to request Magneto cover. And it begins.
There's a request fee.
Yes, make the checkout to Rex.
Rex,
REX. I'm kidding. Oh, all right, so, as always, so we'll get this out of the way. We have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, so 10 random Dynamite titles. Suggest retail $3.99 cover price or higher. If you buy more than one, we'll try to make sure we don't duplicate. If you buy a lot more than that, I can't guarantee anything. But 50 cents a comic, as always, $5 for the entire pack. Will be available throughout the show, and we have it every show just as a thank you to our viewers, especially our Dynamite fans.
You see that Ken's had a ton more of those 4-part connectors.
Oh, awesome!
Everybody loves those.
Oh, awesome! All right, so they're packed up and on its way this week. That's awesome news.
I do want to say this too. Ken has other stuff. Ken does stuff that.
All right, and Weird has switched over to YouTube. Awesome.
Ken
now I got to call him Eddie Von B.
Ken does really cool covers for American mythology. There's other stuff out there. I mean, for those people that are like hardcore Ken fans, you can find other stuff that he does. Of course, it's good, but
all right.
People like the CCAs.
Man, are you kidding? Seriously. I mean, I never thought that. I mean, we had an inventory of them. I never thought we'd run out. I'm going through the long box. I'm like, no, we've done this.
I think it was one of the things where we started doing them on the show way back when, right? And they connected with people. People like it. We talked about how, this is like a blank cover that someone just grabs and does their thing. And it looks, style was the thing that really began to, we've had Ken do Archie style, Disney style, Marvel, DC. Like there's literally nothing that we hand him where like, oh no, and like everything is super popular. Everybody loves it.
Just to be clear, Marcus, Ron had actually bought it. We had advance sold it. Because there was such
Punisher's in the box for Ron.
Yeah, nice. I saw that. So just so you know, it was something we ended up pre-selling because we knew Ken was working on it. But we're probably going to avoid that in the future, just in the sense that we're gonna wait until it actually arrives, and then we'll throw them up. But let me see. You're gonna be flush. Yeah, you are.
No, the truth is, I mean, we don't just say it because he's in the room now. We say it all the time. I mean, his work rate is, his work rate is not only super high, but it's literally, we do this.
And I know it's hard to believe.
He ships the stuff, we sell the stuff.
Yeah, I know it's hard for everybody to believe, but he's not just doing work for the viewers of the experience.
That's why I mentioned it too. I mean,
it just confuses everyone. What? He's not?
I know. I've had to say this before too. It's not like he's down the hall just drawing these all day long. I mean, he does other books. He does other stuff.
I'm sure he has a life as well.
In comics,
do stuff,
don't be silly.
Meet friends, have dinner. I don't know, a couple drinks, something like that. Yes, Lars, man, you are correct. It was amazing. Well, both the She-Hulks that he did, the four cover connecting sets, were phenomenal. All right, so let's do another Dynamite book. We got Army of Darkness versus Reanimator, Necronomicon Rising, #1, Atlas Edition, signed by Tony Fleeks. Suggested retail of $49.99, and we have one available for $20.
It's another awesome series right now.
I'm enjoying this. I love Army of Darkness. Reanimator was my favorite thing from the world of Lovecraft. I'm very, very happy.
So that was cool. That Ken's able to find a few minutes to join us. That was cool.
I mean, I've got the. We were talking about where did the Virgin cover.
All right, so Lars Man
Superman
is
Muhammad Ali homage cover go. My house.
The Army of Darkness. All right, gotcha, Lars Man. You got it, brother. All right, so.
Ron said his wife will make him sleep in the yard, but it'll be fine because he'll be holding his 4-cover connecting CCA sets. Fair enough.
It's all right. Well, we can send over links that of companies that have very inexpensive tents that you can pitch in your backyard, in case it rains or something.
Did you last name claim something?
Yeah, I got her. Yeah, Army of Darkness got it.
I love this story. All right, this is one of the ones where I'm tempted. I almost never do this, but I'm almost tempted to ask Nick. How does this end?
JD, do you still have motor function after all so many tasings? So Stevie B goes, you mean Ken isn't chained to his drawing board by Nick as Stan used to say
that artist in the bullpen?
Well,
was it Joe Sinnott did a cover of himself?
I say Nick tried, but Ken's faster than he is, so he was able to duck and dodge. All right, so what do we got? Let me see here.
I see these guys talking about their wives. The key here is to marry a woman that just doesn't care that much about you. So that this way, when you're spending your money, she just doesn't care. A watch comes in, my wife is like, your watch box arrived. I mean, I'm sure if I was the kind of husband
she cares.
I'm sure she cares. If I was the kind of guy that, I'm so happy I married him, I would probably have to, spend this stealthily too.
Ron's comment. My wife now hates Ken as much as she hates Nick.
You marry a woman who's indifferent to you, and you're able to do, pretty much whatever you want, though.
Right. So you don't want love, and like Ron's instance, you don't want hate either, because then you'll be tased a lot, and it could affect your motor skills.
I would always tell the young guys, get married to a girl that's not clingy, but her parents are. My in-laws love me, so the number of times my mother-in-law would tell my wife, "Oh, leave John alone." So
Ed Weird says he never talks about his wife on here. She's sitting on the couch right next to it.
In the same room.
Oh, Marcus, Cornelius the Squirrel. I pray that Cornelius the Squirrel is doing all right. I have no idea. Zero idea. He could have been squished by a car the next day for all I know.
What's the matter?
I didn't know. My daughter never watches this show. What, are you kidding me? You think she's going to tune into YouTube to watch my ugly face?
I'm waiting for your phone to go off the buzz.
There's no way.
Beep, beep, beep.
I guarantee you. There's no way. I could say it all day long.
Dad.
No. I'm guaranteeing you. Won't happen. Will not happen.
Poor kids on the therapist couch. My dad killed a squirrel right in front of me.
Oh, my Lord. I'll never forget that day. All right, let's do one more book, and then I may have to do a Rex Cap.
Well, yeah, we've only had one tonight, right?
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
and that was early on. All right, so next up we have Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality #1, signed in gold by Greg Land. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it's signed in gold. #3 of only 15 signed, and we have it tonight for $40. We have one available at that price.
I know I shouldn't, but the first thing I noticed on here are the pumpkin bombs. I don't know if that's what the artist intended, but literally the first thing I noticed when I looked at this cover is the black and orange color palette for Halloween, and then the pumpkin buttons.
That's an awesome cover. Lars Man says Cornelius passed away from the heart disease caused by being fed spam. I know better than that.
There's no proof of that.
Squirrels are vegetarians. All right, so Ed Weird is claiming that.
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
a really nice cover.
You got it, my friend.
The signature's well placed too. Dave is here.
Dave, what's up, buddy?
Dave and I have been talking a little bit.
Hey JD, can you throw that meme back up, would you please? Dave, you missed at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we started with the meme,
we found out that
genius.
John missed on Monday because he was trying to deal with the unfortunate news. Again, credit has got to go to Dave Cerrone for this meme.
Yeah.
And sending it out to us. That was I just read in the Wall Street Journal today that they're naming John Cole's the reason that Regal is in big trouble.
I'm still convinced that's real.
They said him.
Oh,
that's
my
genius
God.
work. Yeah, I've been talking a little bit to both Dave and Alec, and Robbie too, about She-Hulk. I mean, I'm guessing you guys got into that on Wednesday?
What, the episode?
Yeah.
A little bit. We did a little bit, but it's never enough. Go ahead, John. I know you're dying to say something.
I hear it now.
She-Hulk, I feel like I said, this is a conversation we essentially had in DM. So I will take bad Marvel over good anything else any day. So I'm fine with it. When they said that this was like Ally McBeal, they were right. It's a sitcom, or pretty close to a sitcom. It seems to be done on not the largest budget. I think Tatiana Maslany does a great job, and of course, they have I can't think of his name. Plays the Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
Ruffalo. He's real. He's great in there. But I think it's just I'm not. The nicest thing I can say about this is I am not the audience for this. Now, see, I was not the audience for Miss Marvel, but I really enjoyed Miss Marvel. I am not the audience for She-Hulk. I'll watch it because,
So I'm actually surprised you didn't like it. I feel like you are.
I wouldn't say I disliked it, but, and I guess I'm in the minority here, but my favorite Disney Plus live action they did was, Falcon Winter Soldier. And they because that was very much comic book, that was literally almost like a continuation of the movies. As they move further away from the movies, I have less and less connection to it. Like Moon Knight, great acting performances, once again, not in a large budget for special effects, and explores a corner of the Marvel Universe that I can take or leave.
I will say this. I really enjoyed it. We'll keep watching, obviously, and I know John will as well. But I do feel like the CGI on She-Hulk's face it just kind of like.
Well, Joel just said it wasn't green enough. I mean,
it was rough.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the green color. Of course, I'm not quite the color green kind of critic that John is. It just didn't feel right. But I think Robbie brought up a good point, was that they've had tons of experience working on the Hulk. She-Hulk, not so much, and I'm sure that the CGI budget is not the same as say an Avengers.
I also
movie.
think if we were seeing the CGI in 2005, we'd be like, wow, it's 2022.
Right.
You know what I mean? We should not be getting mid-2000s CGI. The idea is pretty good. I don't think they changed that much. I read some comments where this isn't She-Hulk at all. Sure it is. They changed the circumstances a little bit, but it's She-Hulk.
Right.
It's, she's Bruce Banner's cousin. She accidentally, I think in the original comic, it was a blood transfusion to save her life. In this case, they were in an accident. She gets the gamma radiated blood. She's off to the races.
So, all right. They made her, so Ed Weird feels like they made her too bright green. Yeah. That maybe it was that. I don't know. It's just something every time, they would close up, they do a close up on her face. It just didn't feel right to me. It just something looked off. But all right, let's do a Rex cap real quick.
Sure.
So we started with Dynamite 10-pack. Reader set 10 random Dynamite titles with a cover price of $3.99 or higher. So it's just retail of $40 or higher. And as always, as a thank you to our viewers, we're doing it for $5. So 50 cents a copy. So then next up,
Let me just interrupt the Rex Cap real quick. I think we're onto a marketing idea. Secondary remittances. So when we send somebody an invoice for $400, we send the second one for $18, and that's the one the buyer shows their spouse.
Ooh, that's actually genius. Mark Heron. Yeah, I read that already about.
I saw Len Dawson passed away.
Yeah, Len Dawson. That that was certainly a tragedy. An absolute legend, and probably one of the last NFL players to smoke on the sidelines.
Oh yeah.
David that was always awesome. That picture is always out there.
He's in the locker room or whatever. Just
he was on a folding chair on the sidelines.
Hey, now super quick to not to cut in, but I saw Dave's comment a little while ago. Where did that just go? He asked if I've read any She-Hulk comics. I'm going to be honest, my knowledge for She-Hulk is like non-existent. I haven't really read a lot of the older stuff, mainly because there's not really any there's omnis for it, but I just never had an opportunity to buy them at a reasonable price. I know the Dan Slott one is a little bit more expensive, so I just never got them. The most recent stuff I read is whatever she's been up to in Captain Marvel. I read some of that stuff, and then I did begin reading her most newest ongoing series. But to be honest, I didn't think the new ongoing was good at all, so I dropped it.
All right, thank you, Ed Weird. We
do our best. Out that you step on everybody, don't let them have their mic time.
So anyway, hey, I'm in the middle of my Rex Cap. All right, so hey, all right, so we got Incredible Hulks number 611, signed in silver by Greg Pak. It is suggested retail of $69.99. It is one of our best offer books. It is number 19. That looks like number 11. Sometimes we reuse photos if similar thing, but the one we have is number 19 of 50. It is a best offer book, and Ed Weird is in the lead at $5.
Nice.
Then we had let's see. Then we had Stray Dogs, Dog Days number 1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. It is a best offer book, and currently I believe Ed Weird is in the lead at $35. Then we did Nick's number 9, black and white Alvaro Lopez cover, just retail of $50, and we have it available for $40. We have one available at that price. Then I was
gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, but for that Stray Dogs Dog Days, that's a DF exclusive, correct?
It is.
Yes, correct. Cool. All right, so then we had Samurai Sonia number 3, Ultraviolet Lyrics Lee cover. It was a best offer book, and Ed Weird is currently in the lead at $12.
You saw Lars Man has 40 on the Stray Dog?
Oh, I did not, but I did now.
Still a hell of a deal. Such a cool cover.
I'll be curious to see if anybody else tries to do ultraviolet covers.
All right, gotcha, Lars Man. All right, so that puts Lars Man in the lead on the Stray Dogs. Okay, so where did I leave off? The WWE number 1 blank variant signed with Hulk Hogan cover sketch. It is a best offer book, and Triple B is in the lead at $10.
That's it. That's awesome.
Mark Heron. Yeah, I read that as well. About Jerry Allison. Yeah, it's just been that kind of year, man. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just getting to that age group. Oh, and to remind everybody, if you joined us late, be sure to, if you want to be part of the free giveaway, make sure you put hashtag AR Comics EXP, all lowercase. And tonight's prize will be the Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids Ash Can Edition. All right, so Emmy Comics is in on Hulk Hogan.
You want to know how much Samurai
give me 1 second, buddy.
Samurai Hotness 3.
Samurai Hotness. So Triple B is at 15. Wait.
Emmy
Comics is at 15. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. I'm having too much fun tonight.
I like this. He's in Samurai Hotness.
All right, so let me see. Samurai Sonia. That is correct. Samurai Sonia is currently at 12. Thank you, Preston.
Killed Regal. Yikes.
So Lars Man wants to go up on Samurai Hotness.
Issue 3.
Going to number 20, or going to $20 rather. Dave Cerrone, Rex Rampage. Oh man, having too much fun tonight. All right, so yeah, just to remind everybody, make sure that you put the hashtag in for the giveaway. And I realize it's now 7:32, so we got to go to our last and final break, and we will be back in a couple minutes.
Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support. And then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Hedwig Kao, author of She Bites. You're watching The Experience.
All right, and we're back. All right, so new comic book day. John, who wants to go first? You, John, Alec.
Let Alec go because
all right, go Alec.
This was definitely a very diverse comic book day for me. I got books from like what felt like every single publisher that came out. But at the same time, our shop did get shorted on a few books, and a lot of books did show up damaged. So there's that too.
All right, it's that time in the show that Nick's going to show us what he's eating. What happened, Nick? Why are you walking away?
It's a sad face in an empty container.
All right, so this is the part of the show where we see what Nick is having for dinner.
An empty container.
It's fruit. You can maybe see the strawberries and the raspberries that were there. Not even a veggie plate. So if you want to super chat us and throw in some money so Nick can afford real food.
Wow, this show is
or
really...
so that Nick can afford to pay JD.
This show is really going downhill, man. We don't even get to see the food. You get to see the empty containers now.
At least I ate for once. My LCS had so many damages. Let's see.
Yeah, Dave, you're right.
Dynamite to help them on those cuts. Oh, my God. Lush Visual Entertainment.
Why do we think there's so many damages, guys?
It's just the way books get shipped, you know. There's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, at the same time,
yeah, but it feels like it feels like Marcus.
Plastic acetate lid cover. Well, what I'll ask is the one question: are you ordering from Diamond or from the DC? You're getting from Lunar, regardless. But the Marvel, is it being ordered from Diamond or from God, I can't. Penguin Random
The
House.
They get shipments from Penguin, Lunar, and Diamond.
Okay.
So which ones were the ones that were Dave Cerrone, let us know which ones were damaged with your LCS. What about you?
I think most of them come from Diamond for the most part. Although I will say the Lunar ones, or not Lunar, DC books actually show up really well. The Penguin Random House, I think they have had quite a few Marvel damages as well. I mean, me personally, they like last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever the Ghost Rider issue came out, it was annihilated, and every single one of them were destroyed.
Wow.
It just there's been a lot of damages showing up lately.
Well, Dave Cerrone concurs. I guess his LCS damages were surrounding Diamond. So
I think for the most part, it's usually Diamond. I think a few weeks back it was not, I won't call it an anomaly, but there was a lot more from the Penguin Random House.
Oh, thank you, Preston.
Now we already got Kansas band down here, bro. Don't you know they last forever?
We'll get Nick a big can of cabbage. See, the next Dynamite headquarters should have a kitchen.
I'm jiggy with that. I'll be straight up. All right,
Kegerator.
So let's get. Oh, you know what? Here, let's do the last Dynamite book that we have. Lady Hell #1, Atlas Comics Signature Edition, signed by Eric Burnham. Suggested retail $49.99, and we have one available for $20. Joel, Marvel has been using crap paper as well. We've
talked about this before. There are people think things
what
are there's kind of no two ways, but things are different. People feel the quality. I know people are like, oh, it's an urban legend. No, it's not an urban legend for everybody.
Well, I think there was
Larsman.
All right, you got it, Larsman. I think what was it? Alec did a show where you were literally holding it, and it was like bending, right?
Now, what I will say is they haven't had a book like that in a while. I'll give them props.
I think
for that.
they were trying to test what the limit is, and then
they lost it on that one.
They're like, oh, that might have been too far over the line. Larsman, between Rex caps and name drops, I am up to 13 ounces of rye for the night. That's it, man. You better catch up, Larsman. Come on, man. All right. Let's see. All right, so I do want to get through these books, man. We're having way too much fun tonight. All right, so here's the last CCA of the night. New Avengers #1, signed with Bullseye cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $50.
His
and
range,
this truly
man.
is the last. This is truly the last Bullseye cover sketch that we have in stock. So that is available tonight as well. We will do the drawing for the Mad Balls Garbage Pail Kids Ash Can right after the best offers close. All right. So
yeah, and if this is literally the last one, if maybe you've seen it before and you were thinking about it,
Well, I think we sold it on a different show, and the payment didn't come through or something like that. So ended up, and as I said, I am digging high and low to try and find CCAs that we can put up here that the viewers haven't seen before. But you do what you can do. All right, so let me see. Let me do one more book, and then John, I want to hear what you thought about today.
Sure.
All right, so then we have Astonishing X-Men #1, ultra rare variant by Mark Brooks, signed by Charles Soule. Suggested retail of $99.99, and we have one available for $50. And we'll give JD a second. He might have a little bit of lag. There we go. Preston, I am a trained professional. Lars, man, we'll have to meet one day, and we'll discuss our profession. And I love rye, by the way. I love Scotch too, but Scotch doesn't love me back. That's what people tell me anyway. Yes, Dave. Mark Brooks cover, my friend. All right, so John, new comic book day.
There's a couple things that really kind of caught my attention. One was
Canary. Preston is claiming the X. Got it, Preston. You got it, buddy.
Canary. I don't hear a lot of people talking about reading that book. I think it's worth checking out. It's not a Dynamite book, so people are like, "You read something other than Dynamite?" Yeah, sometimes. A book came out today that someone suggested I read, and I almost wish I hadn't. And I don't mean this as disrespectful to the creators.
Here it comes.
But no. I mean, literally, I just...
That's always the preface.
Well,
I don't mean any disrespect,
there's
but
a lot of tension
my next
right
second
now.
will disrespect somebody.
No. The book is well written and drawn. I don't have, lettered, whatever.
Mhm.
It's just the subject matter is real tense right now, right? We got a lot of people that are super tense. Everybody's arguing about politics, economics,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true. Yeah,
right?
the world is become a different
I
place.
tend to see comic books as escapist fantasy. It's always the way I've always felt that way. There's a book out called New America. I'm not going to tell people not to read it. I'm not going to tell them to read it. But the timing is market savvy. But for people like me who are reading comics to kind of, close out,
right?
You know what I mean? Close out the outside world. This is bringing the absolute worst of everything from Fox News and NPR and every news service and just dropping it square in your lap. And I'm like, you know what? If this is what I wanted to read, again, well written and drawn, but I would just sit there and watch cable news 24 hours a day, just like click from channel to channel.
I totally understand what you're saying there.
You know what I mean? It's just... No, it doesn't suck. I have said that before. Guilty as charged. There are times where everyone who's watched this show, Alec has seen me do it, Robbie's seen me do it. I say no harm, no offense intended, and then I lower the boom on somebody. In this case, no boom is being lowered. I just think that right now, I understand the market probably said, "Hey, do this book." Plus I'm sure it was done, some months back or whatever. But the subject matter is just not. I think it's maybe a little too serious for comic books. I mean, to a certain extent, you have to kind of have a tiny little bit of separation from the quote-unquote real world.
Triple B, I will find out, but if you could do me a favor, send me an email. Jimmy Reyes, welcome to the show, buddy. Thanks for joining us tonight. I totally agree with what John's saying, because I think the reason I was always drawn to science fiction books was because, just like John said, it's an escape. I don't want to read a book about what's currently happening. I don't generally read autobiographies of somebody that's still alive. I read the books to escape the reality of life. So I don't want my escape to be immersed in the reality of the situation.
No, I totally feel you on that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so I totally agree with what John's saying right there. No,
speaking of like modern things and stuff like that, I know I've brought this up on this channel quite a few times, but the new Gwenverse series, today was the final issue of it. Oh my god, it's like I don't even know where to begin with it. There's so many times in the issue where instead of like using a curse word, it was shock you or shock that, like they use shock as the curse word.
Isn't that from the 2099 universe?
No, it was just like some multiversal Gwenverse thing.
Oh, really? I thought they did that in the 2099 universe the way
they did do something like that. But it just felt so cringy and it's so cheesy. And like I don't want to spoil it, but I'm not gonna like give it away, but the whole resolution of everything was like all the Gwens.
Totally gives it away.
You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting? You bring up a good point, though, Alec. What's interesting is let's look at Battlestar Galactica. Then and then the more recent one. Okay, even though they're not using a curse word, Feldecarb to frack worked. Feldecarb doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know why. And they're both made up words. Right, I don't know what it is that they got right in the more recent series than they did. Feldecarb just sounded corny, but frack sounds like I could, I don't know, maybe because they're both 4 letters. I don't know.
I think with this one though, it was like the main villain. She was like talking about like being an influencer, and she wanted just all this popularity, and it just. It was just such a cringy feeling read, and I'm so happy it's over.
I'm so happy it's over.
All right, so we got a few more books.
Real quick, I'll say one thing. Tom King, one of these guys, he's really like kind of in the prime of his career now. I don't know anyone who doesn't like his work. Everything he does seems to be successful. He took on something today, which sort of it's been on TV, it's been around a little bit. The Human Target. a character for everybody. And I don't, you can make the argument that it's not quite superhero comics, which is fine. But the first issue was good. And what I really liked about it was the cover artist, and I can't remember who it was now, almost did an homage to like the Ed McGuinness spy novels of like the 60s. I really like that. One of the big authors from that era is the father of Dave Avalon, who writes a bunch of stuff for us here. He actually has an account, Ed Noon, where you can go back and you can see some of these great covers. Ed McGuinness and others did them. For people that don't know, look it up. Ed McGuinness is one of those guys that sort of has like that style. Like you recognize it when you see it, but you don't know who it is.
Right. All right. So let's get to the last few books. I'm just going to get them all out because we're closing in here. All right. So Something is Killing the Children, #1, CGC graded 9.8, LCS Day Edition. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $50.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right. So Ed Weird says, I used to say Felder Carve all the time as a kid until my mom heard how it was used on the show, and then I got grounded for a pretend word. Oh, that's too funny. All right. So this is available tonight. We have one available at $50. So then we also have Rubenstein, LCS, the local comic shop. Let's see. Okay. And then we also had Panther #4. Al Baranuevo Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. All right,
that's cool.
And then
too.
All right, then the last couple of books of the night, we also have Deja Thoris, Fairy Tales Sue Lee Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. All right, so Lars Man is taking Something is Killing the Children. Gotcha, Lars Man.
That's an awesome pickup. It's such an incredible series, too.
All right, and then the last book of the night is Vampirella Strikes #4, Ultraviolet Lucio Perillo. Are you listening, Dave Cerrone? Nice. Cover. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40. All right, and we got through it. There you go. All right, and just to make sure everybody has put in the chats who wants to be part of the drawing, tonight it is the Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids Ash Can. All right, and we've actually sold this for $20 a piece, and that is the giveaway for the night. So make sure you put hashtag ARComicsEXP, all lowercase, and we will do the drawing as soon as. Look at Preston. Look at that collar.
Look at that collar. Nice.
Did I miss that Vampirella on the second row? Which Vampirella?
I don't know, but I wanted to throw this out there real quick. I said Ed McGuinness did the cover for Demon Target. Mm-hmm. That was the inspiration. It's not Ed McGuinness. I'm sorry, it's Robert McGuinness. So I know people are like, why do I have to go look up Ed McGuinness? I've got a ton of books with this stuff.
All right. Well, hey.
I'm just trying to see what.
Yeah, if I win, just send me the $20.
Nice.
No, we'll give you John's Regal card, of the company that's declared bankruptcy. So use it fast. So which Vampy is on second row?
I think he means year one.
Let me see, Vampirella. Oh, that's been taken by Larsman.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only Vampy that's available is Vampirella Strikes #4, Ultraviolet Lucio Perillo cover, and we have one available for $40. Yeah, we're Rubenstein, the Atlas edition. Both the Vampirella Atlas editions have been picked up by our buddy Larsman. All righty. So we'll do. Let me see, 751. All right. So I'm going to do a quick recap because mostly everything's sold tonight. So as always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles, cover price $3.99 or higher. It's just a retail of $40, and we have it available as a thank you to our viewers for $5 or 50 cents a copy. And then we had best offer book, Incredible Hulks #611, signed in silver by Greg Pak. Suggested retail of $69.99. Ed Weird is currently in the lead at $5. And then we had the Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Is the best offer book, and Lars Man is currently in the lead at $40. And then we had Panther #4, Al Barrenuevo, Virgin cover, just retail $50. We have one available for $40.
That is an awesome cover. You know who this is? They almost never like to say their favorite covers, but I know because they don't say too much who really likes this cover. Writer Tom Snagowski. He was like, he's like, he saw the cover and he was like, wow, kind of made him pause.
So, all right. So then we had Nick's #9, black and white, Alvaro Lopez cover. It's just a retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. And then we had
somebody said it's beautiful and disturbing, and you're absolutely
all at the same
right.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Deja Thor's Fairy Tales Suli Virgin cover. It's just retail of $50, and we have one available at $40. And then Samurai Sonia #3, Ultraviolet Lyrics Lee cover. It is the best offer book, and currently Lars Man is in the lead at $20. And then we had Vampirella Strikes #4, Ultraviolet Lucio Perillo cover. We have one available for $40. And then we had New Avengers #1, signed with Bullseye, cover sketch by Ken Hazer, suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available at $50. And then we had WWE #1, blank variant, signed with the Hulk Hogan cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It is the best offer book, and Emmy Comics is in the lead at $15. All right.
In the chat, there's actually kind of something a little bit interesting. People talking about having problems with the LCS in their area. I'd suggest this right now. Obviously, you want to support your LCS, but if you're not comfortable doing that, if there's some personal issue, somebody talked about LCS was monopolized. They took the small stores down. There are really good comic book shops, independently owned comic book shops across the country that you can get your stuff from, including people on the channel, on the Experience. Right. There are people on the Experience that, you can just reach out to them, find their information at the website or whatever. Perfect example. I would support Miss Jen over my LCS. Now, I don't, you know what I mean? Miss Jen, there's other people, you can reach out to them and get. I've heard people say, oh, well, I kind of got out of collecting or I switched to digital because I couldn't find an LCS. That's fine if you choose to do that. But for people who really want like physical books in their hand, you can reach out to somebody else.
Right.
And, you can always work something out. I have 3 different stores that I get stuff from.
And in fairness, we live in the Northeast, which is fairly congested. So it is feasible.
There's a lot
of places in the country, where you may have to drive over an hour to get to one. Yeah,
well, that's another thing, too. If you don't have an LCS, your LCS closes. Again, you can reach out. I mean, you can even reach out to us through the show, and we can kind of, shoot you the information.
And Weird, I got you for the WWE at 16. You just made it in under the wire.
Man, that's such a good deal on it.
Yeah, it is, right?
My point here is people should not get their books because, let's be honest, people don't always get along. In my day, I've not returned to comic book stores because I didn't like the owner, I didn't like the attitude. I've had people not want me to come back here. And that's,
I can't imagine that, John.
When I was younger, I was a lot less tolerant of books not being in on time. If I drive over to your store and the book is supposed to be there, I don't want to hear a story about Diamond or the distributor or whatever. Now I'm older and I kind of understand you know what I mean?
All right. So, all right, there you go, Lars, man. All right. He insisted he wanted to see that. All right. So now it is time for the drawing. I'm pretty sure. Last chance, if you haven't done it already, hashtag AR Comics EXP. And the giveaway is Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids Ash Can. All right.
You want that up there?
Nah, it's okay. He's got that thing up there.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead, JD. Spin it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Ron.
Congratulations, Ron.
buddy. You are the winner.
Dave,
Good win, man.
When I was younger, I absolutely could not stand late books. when I got older, I got to know people in the industry, going to cons, and you kind of understand how things are. And then you're like, ooh, I should maybe go back and apologize.
Well, maybe life evens out. Now you're getting Dynamite books ahead of time.
What's insane is we have when I still lived in Oklahoma, there was a shop, and there's a really good shop. It's called Deadlift Collectables, but I feel like he's always putting out a post like books are showing up late, books are delayed. We didn't get our books on time, and it's like, man, you guys, like, it's a shame because it's a really good shop, but if I simply relied on them for new comic book day, I wouldn't go there.
Right, I got you.
Hey, 2 quick things.
Yeah.
Did the show end yet?
Not yet.
All right, 2 quick things.
Do your thing.
How many of the comic shop news did we sell for free? It doesn't matter. We got plenty.
All right.
So Friday, we had the Amazing Spider-Man #7 available for sale previously, the complete issue. We were working on a deal, but it didn't come together. I was actually going to keep this, but a lot of fans, Ron Lim, Roberto, one of our Italian buyers, really, really strongly, and others asked to put it on the air and break it up. And you know what? The experienced fans are family. We wouldn't be here without you. So I made, and I mean this sincerely, I made the tough decision of breaking it up for Friday's show. So look, issue #5, Spencer Beck, John Romita Jr., and Scott Hanna's art agent broke it up. I wanted to offer this as a complete issue for someone to have, but couldn't come together. So Friday, if you'd like any pages from the new Amazing Spider-Man, all the pages to #5 are gone, and only #7 will be broken up. So Larsman, it was $30,000 if you bought the entire issue and paid within 7 days.
Wow.
$32,000 if you needed 4 months, and $34,000 if you needed 6 months. So look at what Preston wrote. I joined the Air Force to see the world, and I saw Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's in the world.
You got to get that signed in your contract, man.
I felt that. I felt that straight in the heart.
I know, right? It's like, I wanted to serve my country, and this is what I get for it?
No. I mean, for Alec, that actually happened to him.
That's legit it. That was strictly it.
No. Well, still, nobody has to rub it in your face, right?
Well, I think Preston is still in Oklahoma is the point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. All right, so.
Oh, my God, look at, Lars, man. Well, tune in on Friday. Pick up any page that you want to pick up,
Crap.
They'll be available. We'll have other Spidey art.
So keep that in mind. Nick will be back with Original Art Show on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
26th, but we're taking September 2nd off.
All right, and I want to say check out AR's channel, AR_comics, his YouTube channel. A lot of great content there. So
Nick, you rip the pages so they'll be affordable.
That's a good one, JD. And we'll be back on Monday with Rock and Robbie.
Coming up next?
JD, is there anything coming up after us?
Not directly after 9 o'clock. We got Wednesday Warriors.
Okay, Wednesday Warriors at 9 o'clock. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for being viewers.
Thanks.
And we will see you guys. Oh, don't worry.
And thank you guys.
We're going to sign that for you right away, buddy. All right. Don't know why, but, the only time anybody wants my signature is the bottom of a check. So we'll see everybody next week on Monday and Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.